Hi everyone, welcome to A Girl, a Drink, and a Game. I have some exciting news. We have officially hit 50 subscribers! Yay, we're so excited. See, I even put it on my board. We hit 50! Ah, it's the little things in life, I tell you. So today we have a drink, a game, and of course a girl and a poopy dog. We got the poopy dog. He wants to be in on this. No, you are too young for that drink. He's like, but Mom. Today we are drinking what my husband referred to as the Black Heart. It has 4 Roses bourbon, Sailor Jerry's rum, some berries and cream cola, and some cherries in there as well. So we're going to see how it tastes. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Much appreciated. You know I love you all. And I love comments too, so be sure to comment. Give it a like, all the things. Okay, Nunjaggy boy. You cannot choose this video to destroy the things and make all the noise. He was calm just before I started. And of course now he just wants to destroy the things. So we're going to move this up here. And maybe he'll be calm. This is what you get when you watch my videos, guys. Real life. Real life. So, we have this game called Get Lucky, the Kill Dr. Lucky card game. This was given to me by my lovely brother and sister-in-law. Thank you. They're also big gamers. They're into a lot of different games than I typically play. Jackie boy. He's actually just throwing out the paper bag that these games were in. But anyways, this is actually pretty good. I'm not a big cola fan in general. But I am a big berries fan. I love berries and cherries and all the things. So I do like that. It is good. For a cola drink, it's pretty good. And I can't wait to get to the cherries at the bottom. Those are the best part. Anyway, so I don't really know anything about these games. I know the Dr. Lucky games are a series. They gave me 2 different Dr. Lucky games. One is a board game and then one a card game. Other than that, I don't really know much of anything about them. So, it's made by Cheapass Games, ages 12 and up, 2 to 6 players, 20-minute gameplay, luck and skill. It says, welcome to Lucky Mansion again. You and your associates are treacherous villains, each secretly bent on killing a despicable old man. But he's not called Dr. Lucky for nothing. It says, Get Lucky is a simple, lighthearted card game about murdering an old man in his house. How pleasant. Lost my spot. It's based on the classic cheap-ass board game Kill Dr. Lucky. This box contains everything you need, 72 cards, rules, and a pawn to represent Dr. Lucky. So, let's grab the handy-dandy knife. I happen to have the handy-dandy box cutter today. I was opening up another box earlier. So, let's see. Needs a new blade. I think I destroyed this one when I was creating a new cat litter box for the kittios. Alright, there we go. Sad when your box cutter can't even cleanly cut cellophane. But it's got a little replaceable blade. It's pretty nifty, like little pocket box cutter. I got it at my old job. Klein Tools. In case you ever need one. Alright. Put that there. Let's open it up. Let's see what we got. Let's take a sip. Rules and information. We have a deck of cards. We have the pawn. Oops. That, as it said, represents Dr. Lucky, I believe. I think this is just cardboard. Yep, that is just cardboard. Put that back there. Bring this over. Let's open up the deck and peruse the cards a little. So I talked about this in the last unboxing I did, but most of you may have noticed I'm doing video games. I play a lot of video games, so it's a lot easier for me to stream those, and I am able to do more of those versus doing this whole setup. But that doesn't mean I'm not doing these, so don't fear, my fellow friends. I'm still going to do these kinds of videos. And hopefully a little more frequently. I'm really going to try this year to do these a little more frequently. Okay, so we have 2 sets of cards in this deck. One has this green background with Dr. Lucky and his monocle. I believe that's his monocle at least. And then this one has Dr. Lucky in front of a big old house on the back. These are numbered. Looks like 1 through 15. And they have various characters on it. Johnny Archer, Winstead Beetle, Janet Principal, etc. As well as some descriptions on them. So that is these. Not sure what they do yet. Then we have these ones. These look like they are also numbered. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s. And we have spiked cards. Yes, we have spiked cards. All right. We're going to circle back to those after we take a look at this. I expect this will explain something or another, being that it is titled Rules and Information. Ta-da! All right. Murder! That's what it says right at the top. Welcome back to Lucky Mansion. You and a collection of evil-minded people have gathered for a seemingly innocuous dinner party. It will be an evening of stimulating conversation, quiet music, and desperate murder attempts. Because each of you, unbeknownst to the others, wants to kill Dr. Lucky. Get Lucky is a card game adaptation of the classic board game Kill Dr. Lucky. Players control multiple murderous house guests, each with a secret desire to take out the old man. But he's not called Dr. Lucky for nothing. He's more trouble than a bad habit and twice as hard to break. So gather around the card table and see who can get lucky. All right. The basics. The components included in this package are 15 character cards. I believe that is these. Yes, that is these. 57 game cards. That would be these. The rule sheet. And 1 pawn, where to go, to represent Dr. Lucky. The main rules are for 3 to 6 players, and at the end are alternative rules for 2. So that's nice. I did wonder at first, because I'm pretty sure it did say 2 players. The object, kill Dr. Lucky. That may sound easy, but he's singularly lucky fellow. Many attempts will fail before one succeeds. All right, so it does have a game in progress set up, so you can kind of see right there where my middle finger is pointing what the table might look like. Synopsis. Each player has 2 characters. There are 3 characters in the drawing room, which is the middle of the table, a deck and discard pile showing the unused characters. And, oh, wait, no, skipped a line there. That's what happens when I look at the camera and read at the same time. I don't advise. Anyways. So 3 characters in the drawing room in the middle of the table. A deck and discard pile are beside the drawing room. With fewer than 6 players, there is an absent pile showing the unused characters. Because they're absent from the game. That makes sense. Dr. Lucky moves from one character to the next by the numbers. When Dr. Lucky moves to you, it is your turn. On your turn, you can do things that improve your characters, or you can try to kill Dr. Lucky. If you kill him, you win. Sounds simple enough, although I'm sure it is not. So middle of the deck, or the table, you'll have your drawing room, your deck, your discard pile. Then each players have their own sets of play area, and then you have an absent pile. Fairly simple. Rules of the game. Setting up. Shuffle the character cards and deal 2 characters face up in front of each player. Why not? Let's do it. It's a very small deck to shuffle. Put 3 more characters in the drawing room, the center of the table. See the diagram above. Set aside the remaining characters if there are any in an absent pile, which is also face up. With 6 players, there will be no absent characters. Shuffle the game cards and deal a hand of 6 cards face down to each player. The rest of the deck becomes a draw pile with space for a discard beside it. Place Dr. Lucky on the lowest numbered character. Can't hold on. I swear I haven't even had that much to drink yet. Place Dr. Lucky on the lowest numbered character that is controlled by a player, i.e. not the drawing room or absent pile. My goodness gracious, this is just a failure of shuffling. That player will take the first turn. On every turn, this is what you do. On your turn, you may do exactly one of the following things. You may draw a card, play a card, swap a character, or try to kill Dr. Lucky. Alright, so we have that. We have that shuffled. Whoop. And then, so we're going to go back, and it says deal 2 characters face up in front of each player. So we're going to say that there's 3 players. I'm going to move some things. Okay, so we have, it said face up, right? I literally just said it. Yes, face up. So we're going to have player 1, player 2. Actually, we'll go like this. And then we'll have mine. I'm going to move that. Oh, we still don't, those go there. I probably need to shuffle those. And we'll have that. Okay. And then, whew, goodness gracious. 3 in the drawing room. So, is that face up? Yeah, that's face up. That's the drawing room. And then we have the absent pile, which goes over here, I think. So everybody can see the absence. They just get laid out. I think that's where we're going with this, guys. I think we're gonna move these over a little bit. I know they're gonna be out of the shot now. Sad day, but I think we'll survive. Oh, drink time. Still getting over that cold. Oh, it's taking forever. Okay. All right, so the one with the lowest number. So that's 4 and 10, 15, 7, 3, and 12. Ooh, that's me. I have the lowest number. So he goes there. Okay, I think. So set aside the remaining characters in the absent, which is also face up. Shuffle the game cards, and deal a hand of 6 face down to each player. The rest of the deck becomes a draw pile. Okay. So these need shuffled. This is not a bad drink. It's pretty good for a cola drink. I'm not a cola person, but it is pretty tasty. I like the berries. We've had this for this guy right here. We've had it for fur. That way. There we go. We've had it for far too long in our fridge. I don't remember why I bought it, but it looked interesting. I think that's why. My husband's a big RC fan. And so I bought him some, and I was like, ooh, berries and cream. Like, that's weird and interesting, and we'll get it. And then we just haven't drank it until now. Shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. Whoop. Okay, that's shuffled enough. 6 cards to each player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Then we have our draw pile, and then that's our discard pile. That's how we're going to do it, at least. All right. Place Dr. Lucky on the lowest number character. We did that. That player will take the first turn. Okay. So, on your turn, you can draw, play, swap, or kill. So draw 1 card from the deck and add it to your hand. There is no upper limit to the number of cards you can hold. After you draw, your turn is over. The deck is never reshuffled or replaced, so after it's empty, you can't draw anymore. That's interesting. That's usually not how that goes. All right, so we're going to organize our hand a little bit. We're going to draw a card. So that's what I chose. That was the one thing I chose to do. So technically this turn would be over. Or you can play. You can play one upgrade card from your hand, attaching it to one of the characters in front of you. There are 3 types of upgrade cards: weapons, motives, and opportunities. The only other cards are spite, which we'll talk about later. Upgrades are played as shown on the right. Any character may use any upgrade, however, each upgrade is perfect for a specific character, indicated by that character's name and number on the upgrade. Usually an upgrade is worth 1 point toward that character's murder attempts. However, when paired with this perfect character, the upgrade is worth 2 points. To show everyone that you have a perfect upgrade, place the card sideways as shown on the bottom. Oh, I lost my spot. On the bottom example on the right. This makes it clear which cards are worth 2 points. A character can have no more than one of each upgrade type: 1 weapon, 1 motive, 1 opportunity. You may discard an imperfect upgrade to replace it with a perfect one. Aside from this, your upgrades are permanently attached after you play a card. Your turn is over. Okay. So again, remember, you can play, you can draw, you can swap, or you can kill, I think is what it is. So we're going to go to this guy's turn, and we're going to see what he has. So he has a couple of opportunities, a weapon, and some spites. We don't know what spites are yet, so we're not going to do that. We have a Johnny Archer card, which I do have a Johnny Archer character here. Or we have a Gail Russo card, which I don't have her, and Rose and Lily Sutcliffe. I don't know. But since we have the Johnny Archer card, I'll let you just take a look at that. It says Tight Hat Johnny Archer. Number 4, it says this trick always works. So we are going to play that, and since it's perfect, we are going to play it sideways. So normally you would upgrade like this if it was not perfect, but because it is perfect, we're going to upgrade like that. So that shows we have a perfect match, which means it's worth 2 extra murder points on there. And then that's the end of that guy's turn. So then we're going to go to the next guy's turn. And it says, the other thing you can do is swap. You may exchange one of your characters with a character in the drawing room, which is in the center of the table. If there are any cards attached to a character, they move with it. So let's say we swapped this guy right here that we just attached the weapon upgrade to. That would go with it into the drawing room. Dr. Lucky tags along too. So if he was on it, he would go to it. And I think Dr. Lucky's supposed to move. I think we forgot that part. Lost my spot. I really need to stop doing that. After you make the exchange, your turn is over. So let's swap one of these guys. So here we have Fauntleroy Cheapass, the student, and Augustin Orance, the gambler. And they don't have like a little description or whatever, so we'll read this one. It says, Fauntleroy Cheapass is a brooding sophisticate who clings to his fading youth through a series of failed relationships and incomplete undergraduate degrees. As a student in Dr. Lucky's ethics class, Fauntleroy discovered an unsavory secret about the old man, which gives him just cause for murder. So we're going to swap this guy, who is a number 7. I don't know if the numbers mean anything other than identity yet. But we're going to swap him for this number 9, who is Maimon Smelt, the misfit. And there's Maimon for you. They all have their own little style and whatnot. And it says after you make your exchange, your turn is over. So then we're going to go to the next page, or the next side of the instructions. And the other thing you can do is kill. So again, remember, on your turn, you can draw, play, swap, or kill. Those are your 4 actions that you can choose from. You can try to kill Dr. Lucky, but only with a character that he is visiting. Just declare that you are trying to kill Dr. Lucky and your part is done. Then each player gets a chance to play cards to stop you. If you fail, your turn is over. If you succeed, you win. Every murder attempt has a point value based on the cards involved. You get 1 point for the character itself, plus 1 point for every imperfect upgrade. Perfect upgrades are worth 2 points, and spike cards described below are worth a -1. Even with no upgrades, a character can still make a 1-point murder attempt. In the example on the left, Johnny Archer has his perfect motive, plus an imperfect weapon, and opportunity. So his murder attempt is worth 5 points. Starting with the player on the left and going around the table once, each player may discard 1 or more cards or pass. Cards are discarded for their luck value, which is represented by 0, 1, or 2 shamrocks. Okay, so if you see right there, there are 2 shamrocks right there. So that is a luck of 2. Each point of luck cancels out 1 point in the murder attempt. And if the attempt is reduced to 0 points, it fails. Perfect stops. Perfect cards are also perfect stops. An upgrade that matches the murderer is sufficient to stop any murder attempt by the character. So for example, if the murderer is character 5 and you discard the opportunity for character 5, you stop the murder attempt. This is even true when that card has no luck on it. So let's say that Augustin Orange, where did he go? He's over here. So if he was attempting the murder, and when it came to me, I played this card, it is an Augustin Orange card, that would stop the murder. That's what I'm getting. Spike cards now, which I had some of those in here. Let's look at those. There is a spiked card. It says spiked real big across the top. I assume they're all different. Yes, they are all different. My husband keeps trying to distract me during my video. And he's like making funny faces and showing me packages we got in the mail and just trying to distract me. And it's obviously working, at least that time. Anyway, spike cards are only played to stop a murder. They are always worth 1 point of luck. After the attempt is resolved, they attach to the murderer with a permanent value of -1. With spite, murderers can be weakened to a value of 0. Spike cards are tucked beneath the character as shown on the right in this example with 2 spike cards and a perfect opportunity. Stax McCracken can make a murder attempt worth only 1 point. Okay. Strategy. You can play more than 1 card to foil a murder attempt, but the chance passes only once around the table. Of course, you usually do not want to discard any cards, so if you are early in the sequence, you may want to pass and force others to discard. However, if you are the last person in the sequence, you must stop the murder if you can. If enough luck is played to cancel the murder attempt, Dr. Lucky survives and your turn is over. If the attempt succeeds, you win. Okay, so what I'm taking from that is you have all of these upgrade cards, which you can use to discard during a murder attempt. And they have the little luck on them, which counteracts the murder points. So if I were to play this one, it would counteract 2 murder points. So if he has 5 murder points, this is going to take 2. It's going to bring his murder points down to 3. And then hopefully the next person and the next person before it gets back to him have enough points to totally cancel it out to 0. However, I then lose this card. I don't have it anymore, so I can't use it to upgrade anymore. So you don't necessarily want to lose your cards because they can help you, but you want to stop other people from murdering Dr. Lucky because then you lose if they murder him and you don't. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You have to gamble on whether you want to try and lose your cards and stop the murder, or keep your cards and maybe no one else can stop the murder. So again, if you're early on, might be smarter to keep your cards. If you're at the end, it says you have no choice. You have to try and stop him if you can. So that's what I've surmised so far. If enough luck is played to cancel the murder, Dr. Lucky survives and your turn is over. If the attempt succeeds, you win, if you were the murderer. Now it says between turns, after each turn, Dr. Lucky moves to the next character in sequence. For example, if he is visiting 4, he then moves to 5. If character 5 is absent, he moves to 6, and so on. From the highest number in play, he moves back to the lowest. Okay, so it doesn't go clockwise. It goes based on these numbers. So it starts, I was the lowest with number 3, so he would start with me. And then on the next turn, he would go to number 4. On the next turn, number 5 is absent, so he can't go there. Then he would go to 6, which I think is also absent. So then he would go to 7, then 8, 9, 10, 11 is absent, 12, so on and so forth. And those are the ones, I think, who can kill. I don't think you can kill if he's not on you, but we'll double check that. Lost my spot. I really need to stop doing that. Okay, so between turns, after each turn, Dr. Lucky moves to the character in sequence, blah, blah, blah. Once he reaches the highest, which I believe is 15, he goes back to the lowest. If the character is in front of another player, it becomes that player's turn. Oh, so this also doesn't do turn order in a sequence of clockwise. It's based on where Dr. Lucky is. If that character is in the drawing room, then it is no one's turn, and players draw cards as follows. Starting with a player who had the previous turn, each player draws a card, but only if they hold fewer cards than the number on that character that Dr. Lucky is visiting. So for example, if Doctor is visiting character 7, which he just so happens to be on our table, players draw 1 card if they hold fewer than 7 cards. Okay, so if you have 8 cards in your hand, you don't draw at all on an in-between turn. But if you have less than 7, then you do. When the deck is empty, it is not reshuffled and players can no longer draw. Be careful with the order when drawing. Always start with the player who took the last turn, especially when the deck is nearing out. That's gotta be a little hard to keep track of. Winning the game. You win when you kill Dr. Lucky. Pretty simple. To succeed, you want to coax out cards out of other players' hands without discarding too many cards yourself. You do this by making murder attempts and judiciously passing when other people make attempts. However, it is not always correct to jealously guard your cards, as you will discover with experience. It's very interesting. Then it has the rules for 2 players. So if you have less than 3, obviously, 2. That was dumb. To play the game with 2 players, you will make the following adjustments. During setup, each player starts with 3 characters and a hand of 8 cards. So initially we had 2 and I think 6. Yep. The drawing room still has 3 characters and the absent pile will have 6. Murder charges. After a murder attempt, the opposing player may pass some or all of the responsibility to an imaginary player named Howard. The live player always plays first, and then Howard tries to stop the murder by playing from the top of the deck. Howard will play up to X cards, where X is the amount of luck that was passed to him. For example, if Howard is responsible for 3 points of luck, he will draw up to 3 cards, stopping when the murder attempt is foiled. These cards go to the discard pile, except for spite, which attaches to the murderer as usual. So then you're just like drawing randomly and you don't know what they are. So like some of them don't even have the luck points on them, which would do nothing unless it matches that person. So unless the murderer is Janet Principal in this case, then it would stop it. If it wasn't Janet, then it would do no good, but it would be a card plate. And that's it. That is pretty cool. There's a little excerpt that says about Dr. Lucky. Kill Dr. Lucky was the very first Cheapass game and released in a small white envelope in 1996. It won the Origins Award for Best Board Game and is now available in a deluxe 19.5th Anniversary Edition. Expansions have included Save Dr. Lucky and many new variations of boards and rules. And about Cheapass Games, it's a tiny game company in Seattle. We make deluxe games, classic games, and free games. Our deluxe games are made to the highest quality standards. Our classic games come in cheap packages and rarely have all the spare parts. Our free games are 100% free, though we do accept donations. Check out our entire catalog at cheapass.com. All right, I dig it. About the puzzles, the brain teasers on the spike cards are a simple and fun way to tease your brain. They are not necessary to gameplay. If you are stumped on the answers, find the solutions at cheapass.com/getluckyanswers. So let's take a look at those. Okay, so like this spite one, it says, despite my best efforts, the old man lives. This cruel world has set me like a modern Sisyphus to a task I can never complete. And then it says, lucky conundrum. I don't know my Roman numerals, but there's a Roman numeral there. On a recent subway excursion, Dr. Lucky met a red-haired lady with an ingratiating manner in the entertainment district. Was he traveling on the London Underground, the Paris Metro, or the Berlin U-Bahn? And there are random words that are like bolded in that, so I don't quite understand what that means. But I'm guessing if you are more familiar with Dr. Lucky games, it probably makes more sense. That's just a suspicion, but so that's what we have. It honestly doesn't seem that difficult. I thought it was going to be a little more complex than this. There are some things I think you just got to keep in your mind with the rules, but I mean, primarily you just have to remember that you can either draw, play, swap, or kill, and that's it. I dig it. I'm intrigued to see. I also have the board game. I'm not going to open it, but I'll show you. So I have the Island of Dr. Lucky, dropping cards, A Most Dangerous Game by James Ernest. So I think this is one of those kind of spin-offs of the Dr. Lucky series of games. So this will be on a separate video, but I am intrigued on that as well. Let's pick up what I dropped here. Not even that sloshed, guys, I swear. This was a good drink, though. I'm getting down to the cherries. They are tasty. Cute, simple, little pond. Nothing spectacular. I dig it. I love that the company is called Cheapass Games. And honestly, I dig it because so many games are ridiculously expensive. I mean, there is something about having a high quality game, but when you just want to play, you don't need to spend $40, $50, $60, $70 on just fun, basic fun. Especially with the games that you can only play a couple of times before they really kind of lose their aspect. Because it's like one of those the solving type games. I really want to play some of those. I haven't gotten terribly into them because I just hate the idea of spending money on something I can only play once. But they like intrigue me. They really intrigue me. I need to find some at like a secondhand store or something and give them a try. But yeah, I dig it. I'm excited. Thank you, brother and sister-in-law. Much appreciated. I love you guys, and I love that you pass these down to me. It makes my day. so that's what I got. Be sure to comment. Let me know what you want to see. You can see some of my games behind me, but I have 3 other shelves you can't see. However, I do have a video on one of my shorts you can look up, and it shows pretty much all the games I have for the most part. So feel free to peruse that. Also, if there's anything on Xbox Game Pass that you want to see played, let me know about that as well. And big news, we are building a computer, so there will be computer games. I don't know when that's going to happen. A buddy of mine is going to come down probably in the next couple of months and help us get that built. So we'll see how that goes, but there will be some computer games. Looking forward to playing some gas station simulator and maybe some supermarket simulator. My buddy Rusty Champagne, check him out. He has been doing those videos and I just fell in love with those games. His supermarket simulator videos are through the roof, so be sure to check him out. Rusty Champagne, spelled like the city in Illinois, not the drink. But they seem like really fun games. So I'm going to build a computer to play those games. I mean, we have other games that we're going to play too from the computer, but those are probably going to be the first ones. So if you have any other games that you think are a good idea for the computer, let me know that as well. Otherwise, that's all I got. Thank you for all the support in this exciting adventure. Be sure to like, share, and most definitely subscribe. We have hit the 50. Our next goal is, well, really it's like 60, but, you know, hopefully someday we'll make the 3-digit club. So keep on sharing, subscribing, all the things, and we will catch you next time. Cheers.